right, guys, calm down, calm down. You know, we're gonna start the video here. Let's get this out of the way. All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna be doing a reaction video to the GOAT format episode of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll probably go through more of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Might skip some episodes that aren't really like super competitive formats or maybe the less interesting ones. That's why I kind of skipped up to here because honestly, like LOB Yu-Gi-Oh! is it's awful. Who wants to watch that? I know I don't. So, yeah, I'm gonna be just watching, reacting to the gameplay. Cimo should feel honored that a player as good as me is going to be critiquing him, but also terrified because, you know, what can I say? I know my stuff. But, all right, let's just get right into it.
Time warp, go!
Golden Age of GOAT format is a period of Yu-Gi-Oh's history officially played throughout the summer of 2005. Based around the power and popularity of the card Scapegoat, this format abides by the April 2005 ban list, utilizing every card available up until and including the Lost Millennium. It's safe to say that GOAT format is probably the most popular alternative format Yu-Gi-Oh has to offer, and while it isn't officially sanctioned by Konami, it's a fantastic way for newer players to learn Yu-Gi-Oh's basic mechanics and older players to immerse themselves in a more nostalgic experience. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Going from a format that
All right, I don't care about his patrons. Let's move on through here. They spin a wheel to see what deck they're going to play. In reality, like GOAT format is like, there's like a lot of different types of decks you can play, but I don't know if it's like necessarily super diverse. A lot of the same cards are kind of in rotation here. It's still pretty fun. Like I still enjoy the format. I think it's a good one to play. In reality, I think Relinquished is like the most fun. That's the one I like opt for if I'm gonna go play GOAT. But personally for me, GOAT's just like a little too slow, so I typically don't like hard opt to go play it. But if I'm in the mood, I'll play Relinquished. I think it's a fun deck.
Relinquished. Okay, so I actually passed up GOAT control in the previous episode to go ahead and play Exodia instead, and maybe it was planned all along. Maybe I wanted to skip GOAT control to keep it on the wheel for this third and final episode, so that way I can...
All right, you're playing GOAT control. This is one thing that bothers me about their like history of Yu-Gi-Oh series. Most of their series is I just think they go over these decks way too much. They take way too long on this. Like, looking at this deck, all right, what can we assume? We like any 90% of the Yu-Gi-Oh players like watching the video are going to be able to determine, okay, this is like a Dekoichi Monarch deck, right? Pretty simple. There's running Soul Exchange. Like the goal is just to tribute summon, blow them out by popping back row with Mobius or ripping cards out of hand. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. So like I don't think we need to have them read off every single card. And that's also why if you are a subscriber of TCG Rewind, you know, you go into the link in the description, you click tcgrewind.com, and the decks that we're talking about are always going to be there. You can click the download link. You can just look at it yourself, and it's way better because that, you know, then you can play it with your friends if you want to. You can do what they doing, you know. That's nice. So yeah, that's what he's playing. We saw Cimo landed on like standard GOAT control. We'll like hover his build real quick. Nothing too fancy or crazy. I think 2 Air Knight is kind of weird, but for the most part, look like a pretty standard GOAT deck. Nothing too fancy.
Old VW pre-calamities ban, so I feel
What series that...
Right.
Ooh,
yeah,
like
big
I will be
surprise.
taken first.
I need to stop picking paper. I have some qualms about your decision-making process. Are you really rolling a die over there? Oh,
it was
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
5.
Oh, yeah.
If that were the case, I would have just picked scissors for the last 10 episodes and never let you go first. I don't know.
MBT seems like the most fun person to play Yu-Gi-Oh against. Like MBT, if you're for some reason watching this video, do a series with me because honestly, I think it'd be so fun to play against you. Yeah, I just love his charisma. I think he's so funny. Both their guys' banter in the series is what makes it so fun to watch, honestly. Because honestly, the play is like it's okay, but the banter between the two is what makes it fun.
I don't know why. Did I actually pick second by accident?
Oh, did you mean to go first?
I meant to go first. Yes,
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Put your
So-
card back and just pass it over.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm so used to going second in the progression series that out of habit, I pick that. And thankfully, I don't have to worry about drawing a card because the GOAT format room and dueling book does that automatically. So I feel really relieved about that. Let's go ahead.
Add rooms for other formats, dueling book, please. I need 2011 ranked. I need it.
And make something happen here. This hand is decent, I guess. I'll go ahead and set 1, set 2, and I'll go ahead and pass it over.
All right, I will draw for turn. Anything in standby?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so it's not a trap dust shoot. I'll go to M1. I'm gonna set 1 card. But before I set the card,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to normal summon a Breaker the Magical Warrior.
That is no summon negation or anything. Would you like to declare priority and get your counters?
I would like to. I will activate the effective Breaker to add 1 counter to this monster.
That's not how priority works. I mean, this is an on-summon effect to add the counter, so he doesn't get to use priority to get the counter. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know if he was just memeing or if he was like genuinely serious, but you can't call priority on Breaker's effect because the on-summon effect is to add the counter.
Sure.
I will attempt to break your set card.
All right, I will chain it as Book of Moon, so I will set your breaker.
Bomb. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to set 1 and pass turn.
Okay, looks like we have a bit of a slower game. That's good. That's
Well,
good.
thank
I'll draw.
God for that, given the last
Anything
couple of matches.
On my standby phase.
No.
No dust shoot from you either. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll go to main 1. I am going to flip up this DD Warrior Lady.
That's fine with me.
I'm going to go to battle and attempt to hit into your breaker.
So Breaker's flipped. Would you like to banish him?
I would not like to banish him.
All right, to the grave he goes.
All right, I will go to main phase 2, and I think I will just set myself a card face down, and I'll pass it over to you.
I'll draw for turn. Anything in standby?
Nope.
This is boring. I'll set 1 card, set 1 spell trap, and you are good to go.
Who wants to
I mean, honestly, that is the thing about GOAT format, right? Like it's like so slow that it's almost too slow. Like it feels really like, you know, a normal monster pass. That's why I personally like. It's not like it's like a nice format when you're really feeling retro Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not like a format like my go-to retro format strictly because it's just too slow. Plus, I like accessing the extra deck. I think that's like a big part of like fundamental Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you've been able to do it in more eras of Yu-Gi-Oh than you haven't been. Like early Yu-Gi-Oh, like this is the only time where like you really don't access your extra deck very much. So I like that. I think that's like a core value of Yu-Gi-Oh is like the extra deck, being able to pull stuff out random times. Feels cool, feels good. So yeah, it does sometimes feel a little boring. Although like where GOAT shines is its skill expression. It's very skillful. Like reading your opponent is really important. Decision making is everything in this format. So that's like the one cool thing about it for sure.
watch this format?
Man, bring back Exodia. Bring back last turn. What's going
Right?
on? 2 people playing
Right.
fair Yu-Gi-Oh. Ugh.
Standby phase, anything.
Nothing.
All right, I'll go to main 1. All right,
That's a
so
good top
set
deck.
a card face down. I'm going to attempt to nobleman your set monster.
Ooh, that's really bad for me. Oh, that's so bad.
Did he hit a
yeah,
Dekoichi?
There goes my Dekoichi.
Ooh.
I do not have Dekoichi.
All right, I've got one other. If you would like to confirm the contents of my deck, you can.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We haven't gotten to do that at all in the GOAT format, and that's technically legal. So just go ahead and show the deck. Let's see what you're working with.
All right, here's what I'm playing, baby.
You should always opt to confirm in your opponent's deck if possible. One thing that Cimo could probably infer is that there's a really good shot that the third Dekoichi is in MBT's hand, especially now that he's seen the deck, like seeing the type of deck that's being played. I think like you could easily infer that. I don't know if he gets that idea here, but that is what you should be thinking about.
Oh, Oh, you got Soul Control?
I did.
I'm jealous, actually. I'm very jealous of this.
This deck is so cool.
It's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, so I might be able to figure out what your back row is based off of what I can see here. Potentially. It's not guaranteed. You've got 3 books, so none of those are set. There is 2 goats, but I don't know if this deck plays 3. You also have 2 Sakus. You could be on a 3rd one of those. Mirror Force and Ring are both in here. You might be on a Torrential, so I guess Torrential's something I have to worry about. So it's like Torrential, Saku, Call of the Haunted, I think are like the biggest threats to me at this point.
Really sleeping on Time Seal, I gotta tell you.
Oh, that's true. After last episode, man, I gotta really worry about that. Let's go to battle. Let's see what you got.
It is goats.
Okay. I will happily attack into a single goat.
All right.
All right, and then we'll head over to main 2. I'm gonna duo you.
You drew that for turn? Wow.
I did.
Okay.
Hit the middle one.
Okay, that's my 3rd Dekoichi, so...
Okay.
Cat's
See?
out of the bag on this one. I am going to...
See the big brain? That's what you gotta be thinking about.
lose my Metamorphosis.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go to main. I'm still in main 2. I will set.
I feel like pitching Metamorphosis here is like really weird, right? Because like realistically, what's your best out to this DD Warrior Lady? Like, I think if you Metamorphosis and take like and like suck up the DD Warrior Lady with Thousand Eyed and it has 1500 attack, that's a pretty decent spot to be in. So I honestly think it's like really weird that he opted to discard that. So I'm really curious what this card is.
An additional card and pass the turn.
I'll draw for turn. Anything in standby.
At least you don't have to worry about Trap Dust Shoot this time. No, you're good.
So I'm gonna activate Metamorphosis here.
That is fine.
This dude just ripped the Metamorphosis off the top. I still need to know what that last card is, but that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Anything in response to the activation of Tear's effect.
So I do have the ring.
All right.
We've already done this once before, so that will go away, and I do get to keep the Warrior Lady.
I'll set 1 card, and you are good to go. And boy, do I hate getting Trinitied. Oh, I hate getting Trinitied.
I personally really enjoy it. I'm going to go ahead and Dust Tornado your back row. Let's just get it out of here.
Oof. It was Sakuretsu armor.
Okay, so what's the 3rd Saku? So you're actually not...
So if you don't know what the Trinity is in GOAT format, it's literally Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duo, and Graceful Charity. Those are the 3 cards that are like probably the best in the game, mostly because they're just either +1 or, you know, you could like hard minus your opponent in exchange for 1 card. So they're both really, really strong. Charity is really good, especially when comboed with Serpent. So that's what he was complaining about when he said he hates getting Trinitied.
Not on a Torrential then. That's interesting. All right, I'll go to main 1. I'm pretty good about this. I'm going to tribute over Warrior Lady for a Parshath.
Oh, man, that's rough. Yup.
We're going to battle. We'll hit into a goat for 19, and I'll get a...
Oh, that hurts so bad.
Oh,
Really painful.
Oh, it gets...
Oh, no.
The Nobleman for your set monster.
No.
Dark Mimic LV1. Let's get the other one.
Get those out of the deck.
Oh. Okay, so if you're MBT right now, like, you're in the worst possible spot. Literally, like, every single, like, flip effect monster you have in your deck is just gone. Like, what are you tributing now? Like, you better see your soul exchange for, like, your 6 monarchs you're running. And I think this is also why the deck he's running seems kind of weak, because Nobleman just crushes it. Just absolutely destroys it.
Hey, this is...
I'll pass. Go
Oh,
ahead.
that feels so bad for him.
Oh, perfect. Right on time, dude. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Fantastic. I'll go ahead and draw.
It doesn't get better.
Let's go ahead and just get the pressure on. I'm going to normal summon a Tribe Infecting Virus.
Yep.
I suppose I don't need to use the effect because I can just do full damage here. So I will pierce into Scapegoat for 19 and draw a card. Do the 16 as well. Main 2, I will set 1 and pass the turn. Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn. Oh, perfect. You have got it.
Oh, wow. That was a quick one.
It was.
Yeah, that makes sense. The fact that they like Cimo just kind of like blew about once he drew that Parshath. It was a pretty almost like a sacky game on Cimo's end. That can happen. It's pretty rare, but I think part of that attributes to just kind of like how bad MBT's deck is. So I'm not really surprised. It does seem like MVT's playing the worst deck here.
Okay, to further commenters, do you know what this person told me as soon as we finished? Said, what is this fair Yu-Gi-Oh? What is this fair Yu-Gi-Oh after they delinquent duo double nobleman me? How dare you, sir?
Excuse me, sir. You played Graceful Charity how many times in the last episode? And I did not get a single piece. So if we're going to talk about, you know, Holy Trinity, Unholy Trinity, whatever you'd like to call it.
That was all skill. That was all skill, baby.
Of course it was. Of course.
Correct.
Of course. Good luck. At least you're going first this time.
Ooh, what a hand.
Going first button, as apparently I do not. So.
Hey, speaking of skill, how do you like this, buddy?
Oh, perfect. Fantastic. It depends on what you hit.
Hit the heavy storm. If he hits the heavy storm, he's cracked.
Skillful or not.
All right, we're going to go for this one right here.
I hate you so much. I hate
Damn,
you
I'm just
so
so
much.
skilled. That just really
Not bad.
Oh my god. I'll get rid of Dust Tornado.
Sure. I'm going to follow up Delinquent Duo with a pot of green.
Oh, this is the perfect setup. The beginning of this was the perfect setup. Graceful Charity too? Oh, good, good.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm not going to play.
All right, look at the advantage that we have right here after resolving those 2 cards turn 1. We're literally on a +3 right now. I mean, Cimo's gonna draw one, so he'll be -2, but still, if he would have kept Heavy Storm, he could have kind of evened it out a bit by heavying the 2 back row here, but still, that's where the Trinity comes in and feels kind of bad to play against sometimes.
Play around Heavy Storm, I don't think. You know, no reason.
Gee, wonder why. Isn't this such a skillful format? Look at this. Look, you're on 6 cards, and I'm on 3. This is just so skill intensive. Show me the Trap Dust Shoot. Show me the Trap Dust Shoot now, too.
Okay, I will show you the Trap Dust.
Oh my
got 2 of
god.
them, so we'll...
Ooh. I don't know if it's worth chaining the second. I mean, like, knowing with full information that he only has 1 monster, it's definitely not, but I guess the logic is Cimo's probably going to set some back row, so maybe he's thinking if he could snipe 2 monsters here, which isn't super bad, but I don't know.
You just outplayed yourself, my friend.
Oh, is it all spells?
It was all spells and traps.
That's fine. I can't trap Dust Shoot after I resolve the first one because you don't have 4 cards in hand. This is so unfair. If I open Broken, I just can't activate Trap Dust Shoot. Oh my god. This game sucks. Why does anyone play this? VFD or no VFD?
All right, well, at least it's 3-4 now, so I'm kind of happy about that. But I'm not happy that I lost that Magician of Faith of all things, because that would have been a really nice follow-up to punish that set 3 over there. All right, well, if that's Magician of Faith, you get Duo back. I suppose I have to play around that, so I guess I'll just set everything and just pass it over.
All right, I'll draw for turn, and then Heavy Storm. I wish.
I was going to say, I'll just lose
That'd
the Heavy
be
Storm
crazy.
anyway, so...
All right, we're going to go for Dekoichi here.
That is fine.
Mobius. Damn it.
Oh,
Mobius
Mobius would be
nice.
sick.
I don't know. Combat?
Sure.
I will attack with Dekoichi.
I will take the 1400.
You sure you don't want to trade a goat? I mean, listen, goats, they're pretty good. I think you should take it pretty seriously, I think. I don't know. I guess I'll end turn.
Okay, I'll draw. That is not good. I suppose I will
That's
just
so
pass
bad.
All right,
Okay, so Tsukiyomi, if you don't know, is mandatory. So that means in order for him to normal this, he'd have to set the Dekoichi, which means he could like swing in and give MVT another draw. That's the only way to out this right now, which that feels so bad.
Draw for turn. It's Book Tornado Goat. Ugh, this is so crusty because like I can't really set any of my cards because you could Dust Tornado them on end step and they're all really broken. All right, I'll get it for 14 here.
All right, I'll take another 14.
Go to main 2. I'm gonna set 1 and then I'll pass turn.
All right, I'll draw. It's not getting much better.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, all right.
These are some like one-sided games. Like game 1 was hard one-sided for Cimo. Game 2 is just hard one-sided for MVT. Like not even close. This is like almost like a poor representation of GOAT format because like typically if both players are playing well, GOAT format is really back and forth. It's like super grindy. That's like one of the things a lot of people like about it. So this is like a really weird couple of games, honestly.
All right, I'm still kind of afraid of Duo. I'll set a 4th card. I'll pass it over.
All right, I'll draw for turn. Stand by main. You should have been. It is Magician of Faith.
Okay.
Still, Pot of Greed. Pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, I think having both is pretty nice.
This game's over.
God dang Mobius.
Pot of Greed's fine.
If he rips Mobius. Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
It's so over, man. Like, this game is just so scuffed. Like, he's down so many cards.
So now what are your targets going to be?
I will target. I really want the goddamn Dust Tornado so I could start setting. I'm going to go for the new one because there's no chance the new one is a scapegoat. And I'll go for this one right here.
Okay. Now I need to think. That is very, very crusty. Okay, so in response to your Mobius, I will Book of Moon the Mobius.
That's fine, yeah.
And the last card was also called the Haunted, so that's not doing anything.
Oh, you're on?
I don't know if I agree with this. Like, you're probably going to take more damage here, but now you don't have a play on your next turn unless you want to Tsukiyomi set the Dekoichi. Like, I almost think it's worth to take the damage. That way you can just kill the Mobius with Tsukiyomi next turn, opposed to trying to just, like that book really accomplishes nothing.
One call. So I did not get the Dust Tornado.
You did not, no.
I think that's fine. I'm going to set 1 and pass my turn.
Okay, I'll draw.
Tell me I forgot to attack. Yes!
He did forget to attack. I didn't even notice that.
That's the trick. Still not great, but I think we got to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Tribe.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
See, I know you play Saku. You have Mirror Force as well. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. I mean, I'm probably going to have to bait out Saku eventually. So I suppose we'll do it now. I'll go to battle phase.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to hit into Mobius.
I will Book of Moon targeting your tribe.
Okay, that's basically the same thing. So I will set the tribe. Main phase 2, go ahead.
I will draw for turn. Okay, so I actually know that the set cards are Dust Tornado Scapegoat. So I'm going to flip summon Mobius.
Sure.
Tribe has 1,000 defense.
Correct.
Gosh, there is just so much I want to do. All right, we'll go to battle phase. I'm going to walk with Dekoichi.
Sure.
And then I'm going to walk with Mobius.
I am going to let this go through.
Sure. Second
It's a
main,
big hit,
I'm
but-
going to set 1, and you are good to go.
Okay. I'm going to end phase goat here.
That's fine.
Well, yeah, he had the goats earlier too. So, like, realistically, he could have just not taken the damage because, like, the goats aren't really doing him any favors. And then he could have normal summoned Suk and set that. And then worst case, his opponent has Sakuretsu, but he gets to block another round of attacks. And if it doesn't have Sakuretsu, if he has Book of Moon, then like he did, then when the Book of Moon sets the Tsukiyomi, like if he attacks into the Tsukiyomi, he's gonna lose it. Like he's gonna get to set the Mobius again, and then he could have used the tribe. So I just think Cimo could have played this all better. I mean, he's still probably just completely doomed because of the game state, but I'm not a fan of this.
Okay. If I draw a Metamorphosis off the top, it's pretty good. So I want to actually have it live if I do.
Right.
It was not a Metamorphosis. I'm going to normal summon Tsukiyomi.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to target your Mobius.
That's fine.
I will go to battle and attempt to attack into Mobius.
It is Sack, yes.
It is Sack. I figured it was one of them, so it's bound to happen eventually. All right, main 2. Go ahead, end me with Tribe.
God, I wish I had Tribe. I don't. I do have Magician of Faith. I'm going to go ahead and get this Pot of Greed back.
Oh my god.
This man was complaining about getting sacked by one delinquent duo, and now there is delinquent duo, Pot of Greed into a Thastalos that's going to hit.
It's not the third time he resolved Pot of
I'm
Greed.
gonna take 300 from that.
Right.
I guess I'm not dead technically.
You are not this second. Second main, I'm going to set 3, and you are good to go.
Well,
would you care to get rolling?
I am gonna dust one of these.
All right, let's see.
I feel like I don't have a choice because everything for the most part is going to be reactive to what I do, so I feel like I need to have like the best chance possible here. I'm still probably dead. Hit this one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my god.
Wait, does he have a graveyard?
Oh, and you opened double dust shoot, by the way.
No, he doesn't have a graveyard.
Well, one of them didn't work, so actually
Okay, yeah,
it
this
was
game's
fair.
over.
Well, it would have been really cool to drop a BLS, but I don't have a light in my graveyard, so...
Tragic. That could have been really big, actually. That could have maybe made a difference. Bialis is a really strong card.
This guy's out here complaining about getting hit by one measly delinquent duo, and then it's duo into Pot of Greed into Pot of Greed into fuck me over 10 times again. Oh, I can't wait.
knew it.
You forget who you're dealing with here. I can't wait till my hand is like the Holy Trinity plus more. God, I wish it was. Wow,
show me
this
the
hand
duo,
sucks.
show me the pot, show me the graceful charity. Let's get this over with.
This hand sucks. This hand is not good.
Oh,
All right,
Christ.
I'll set 1 and set 2 and pass. Go ahead.
Do you have a copy of Trap Dust Shoot?
I do not, nor do I have 2 copies.
Bro, Trap Dust Shoot is at 3 in GOAT. That and it's such a game breaking card. Like being able to see your opponent's hand turn 1 just gives you so much information for like the rest of the game. Like it's game breaking. Like even in like 2011, it can just like hard win you games. So it's actually just terrifying that it's at 3 in this format.
Of Trap Dust Shoot, so you're safe from everything. Unbelievable.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna set 3. This doesn't matter. I'll pass turn.
All right, show me your Dust Shoot.
No. Going
Okay.
second? I would never play Dust Shoot. You'll never have 4 cards in your hand.
You love Dust Shoot. What are you
I
talking
do love
about?
Dust Shoot. I'm a
Dust Shoot's like
huge
one of
Dust
your
Shoot enthusiast.
favorite cards.
I
Okay.
maintain Dust Shoot could come back. That's not true. Please do not flame me in the comments. No fucking way.
Dust Shoot could come back. In modern Yu-Gi-Oh, are you kidding me? Who the heck's playing trap cards? Like, even if you did, like, what does knowing their hand do when you can just like normal a monster and go +9 or something? Who cares, man? It's a mess up there.
I was gonna say, you better watch your words on that one. Let's just nobleman the set. Let's see what it is.
I fucking knew it. I was like, the only thing this loses to is Nobleman of Crossout. In like 3 Dekoichis out of the deck. All of the Dekoichis in the world.
This is just where you play the Dimension Fusion, right? And just wreck me like I
Exactly.
did to you in the first game.
You doubt me. I boarded into triple limiter removal.
All right, after
Okay, yeah. So he got sniped by the same issue. Honestly, if you're playing a deck like this that is like heavily reliant on your set monsters, especially in like game 3, where like you've already seen the impact of Nobleman on your deck, like you need to try to set bluffs, right? Like you want to try to set things that can get Nobleman, because no matter what the set card is, your opponent is probably more prone to Noblemaning you. Which means like it's really important that MBT actually like tried to find something else to set. There is a world, like I can't see his hand obviously, so there is a world where he just didn't have anything. But typically if I had Dekoichi turn 1 in like a game 3 scenario, I would probably just set something else. Even if it's like completely worthless to set, just to see if it gets Nobleman. That way, once I know Nobleman's out of the way, it's very low probability my opponent has 2, so I can like actually set Dekoichi and start getting value.
After some more dueling book lag, how do we want to proceed? I suppose I'll flip up this DD Warrior lady once again. She seems to be glued to my hand.
Sure, yeah, fine.
Let's try to hit in.
I'll take the fatty 15.
All right, main 2. I'll set. I'll pass. Go ahead.
I will draw for turn. Do you have anything in standby?
No, I do not have anything in standby. That has not changed.
All right, main 1. I'm gonna activate Snatch Steel targeting your Warrior Lady.
Ugh.
That's a good call.
Yeah, you can have her.
And to the grave she goes. It's Mobius time.
Oh,
baby.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, so both my back row are being targeted here. I will chain Scapegoat, so I will
Sure.
get some goats. The other one was unfortunately Sakuretsu armor, so that one's going away.
Would have been nice. I'm gonna go to battle and hit your Magician of Faith here.
It is my Magician of Faith, that is correct.
This is kind of a problem. Goats are historically not that difficult to deal with in this format. You know, there's a lot of stuff that punishes it. I'm not on very much of it, so we may be here for a while.
It's a tough choice. I kind of like getting the Nobleman to keep you off of setting,
Yeah.
but I also like Goat because it's just more goats, and that's very good. I am going to take the Nobleman, though. I'm going to just
Yeah.
deter you a little bit.
I don't hate it. I will, of course, pass turn here.
And Metamorphosis! Damn. All right, main 1.
Yep.
I will attempt to normal summon a Tsukiyomi targeting your Mobius.
That is fine.
I will attempt to go to battle and hit into the Mobius.
I will Mirror Force.
My
body? You're thinking about my body?
Thinking about something.
Oh.
I'm going to chain Book of Moon targeting
What?
Tsukiyomi.
You're gonna Nobleman my Mobius.
what the heck is this play, man? Why would you chain book on the Sook? I mean, I don't, that doesn't really make it. I just feel like you're way better off 1-for-1ing and then Noblemanning in main phase 2. Like, save the book. Unless he's like hard planning on Noblemanning here. That's like the only way this makes sense if he really wants to save the Sook, but I can't say I'm a fan.
That's cute. I don't know if it's good. That's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay, so I will set the Sook, and I will just pass. Go ahead.
Oh, you're not going to nobleman my Mobius. All right, well.
I don't care.
Nobleman the Mobius, what are you doing, dude? Like, okay, like, this thing is gonna, like, why would you burn a card to protect the Sook if you're just gonna let it die by battle to the Mobius on the next turn? Like, what? Like, in that case, just let it die to Mirror Force and pass. Like, those are your two options. Like, realistically, I still think noblemanning the Mobius is always the play. You have Magician of Faith. Like, if you need to get it back, you've already got rid of Dekoichi. Like,
Care about the Mobius. That's the least of my concern.
yes, you do care about the Mobius.
To attack goes my Mobius.
Sure.
Now my Mobius. Attack directly.
All right. Flip. Set again.
Second main, I'm gonna...
Great.
Pass turn.
Okay. All right. Metamorphosis. All right. I will nobleman the Mobius.
Boo. All right, so let me...
Just imagine if he had, like, played this correctly. Like, how much of a better position he could have been in had he not just done this stupid shit. What is that?
Let me banish every Mobius from my deck.
If that card worked that way, that would be insane. I will just set a monster and pass. Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn. Ooh, that's a strange one. I'm gonna set a monster and a card, and you are good.
All right. I will draw. All right, let's go ahead and flip up this Magician of Faith.
Yeah, I was thinking that's probably the worst possible thing it could be for me. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know if that's true because the selection of spells I have they're okay. Like, Nobleman's obviously nuts, but I don't know. Book is decent. Goats are also good. I think I will actually take the Nobleman. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm so surprised!
So Cimo's going for, like, he doesn't want to give away the fact that he has Nobleman in hand, so he goes to add back Nobleman again. But in reality, like, it's just 10 times better for him to activate either just activate Nobleman outright and keep the Magician of Faith set, or honestly, I don't even think it's that bad to, like, Metamorphosis into Thousand Eyes and just suck the monster. Like, this just seems so, like, you're just burning every resource you have for the sole purpose of not letting MBT know you have a Nobleman in hand. Like, who cares if you have Nobleman? Like, you're just... Oh, it's so bad.
All right, so we'll fire that off. Get that out of here.
Oh, my God. I swear to God. So far, I've lost to exclusively Noblemen. I boarded out of all but one.
Okay, cool. I will attempt to hit in for 300 damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. You got me on the 25-turn clock, buddy.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Go ahead.
Awful.
Oh, fantastic. I'll draw. Ooh, that's actually not bad either.
That's
hit for 300?
Hell yes, dude. Of course. Don't even ask.
All right. Main 2. I'll pass.
That's strange. I don't think I'm really scared of this.
Bro, like, it's just heavy. Like, also, imagine if he had, like, got back Book of Moon or something, or if he hadn't flipped this at all. He could have heavy stormed here, like, because he still would have had the Nobleman, right? So he could Nobleman, he could heavy storm, flip him off, and added heavy back, and then you just remove back row from MBT's game for, like, the rest of the game. Like, he can't really set anything, like, he can't afford to set anything moving forward, knowing that he has heavy. Like, I mean, or again, just fire heavy, fire Nobleman. You have them offset. Wait for a situation for him to attack into it, for you to need to use it.
Let's keep going.
Okay, I'll draw. Hopefully we get something. Now, the one problem is the goats have me locked in a situation where my board cannot really get bigger.
I'm enjoying that a lot.
I bet you are. Okay, I'll play your game.
Absolutely. I'll take that 300 all day.
All right, she's done 900 total, so she's getting in there.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I was waiting for. All right, we're going to begin with a delinquent duo.
That is...
Ooh,
like
and now we're punished for holding our cards.
That's the one thing we didn't want to happen. Oh my God, come on.
There we go.
Okay, let's grab this one right here.
That's probably the best card you could have taken out of my hand. Now I have to pick one of my own. All right, I guess I'll get rid of my breaker.
It's gonna get
No.
just a little bit worse. I'm going to soul exchange.
There's nothing left to Nobleman, man. Like, there's nothing left. You've seen his deck. There's nothing left. Why would you get rid of Breaker? Breaker is like a cracked, like, that's a big monster, and you need any type of field presence. Ugh,
Ending your
I hate
magician.
these decisions.
Alright,
I think these are
solid.
this
And
is
we're
terrible
just normal
goat
summon.
decisions.
Okay,
Oh.
at least I got the monster out of my hand, so
All right,
a
50-50,
monster out of my
let's
hand.
go. Bada
See
bing.
a heavy storm. Yeah, okay, great. Aren't we glad we held on to all of those cards, man?
Oh
Go,
man, I was getting too
baby.
greedy. Too greedy.
Okay. Obviously, I can't use my battle phase this turn, so you are good.
Oh, you can't use your battle phase. Well, how unfortunate. I'll draw.
See, it's fair.
I'm not particularly incentivized to do anything because I do have some goats sitting up here.
You're like, I can just wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll draw for turn. Oh, perfect. Well, guess what, buddy? I'm getting one of these goats one way or another. Let's
All
go.
right. Taking him down. Taking him down. We'll draw.
Slowly.
Still not much going on. I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn.
Trap dust shoot, baby. Let's see what you got.
It's all spells and
You
traps.
fool! It's
Oh.
all spells.
It is all. God, your hand is like as bad as mine was. All right, exchange, knock, heavy, goat. All right, you got me, buddy. You got me.
Let me get another fucking.
Sure,
scapegoat.
sure.
All right, go ahead.
Fun and interactive format. I'll
I
set
love goat.
another. Go ahead.
Another trap dash.
You can't complain about a format if you misplay 17 times in a single game. Just saying.
Shoot.
No, not another trap dash shoot. You're good.
All right, normal sinister.
That is fine.
All right, combat. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it out. Both goats, pretty good in case I get a metamorphosis.
If that set card is fucking scapegoat, it is the end for you.
I'll draw. We'll see. Damn. So it's heavy, soul, goat, knock.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, this is frustrating. Go.
We'll draw for turn. Stand by.
I disagree with this play. I think your best play here is, like, why are you just leaving him with, like, the Sinister Serpent? I think at the very least you just normal the Serpent and crash into his. Like, why not? Like, it's going to cost him another normal summon to play it again. And then you could dust shoot that Serpent out of his hand. So you guarantee a monster in his hand on the next turn. So, like, you can get rid of his Serpent, basically, by using this dust shoot and your own Sinister Serpent. Because there's no shot he doesn't just add it back. I don't know what he's doing.
Main battle.
Sure.
We'll go with Thestalos.
Sure.
All right, this is a play I am calling "Don't Die to BLS." All right, go ahead.
Okay. I'll draw. Anything?
No, that's fine.
Okay, I figured. I didn't think that would have changed by this point. All right, so I'm gonna nobleman your set.
How, buddy? It's Magician of Faith.
Oh, fantastic! Great, great.
You have got to still have a Magician of Faith. You're only
I
on
do
2?
not actually.
Oh,
I do
great.
not.
Yeah. Very happy to hear that, buddy. Very excited to hear that.
All right. Well, I suppose I have to try something here. So I'm gonna set, and I'm gonna set, and I'm gonna pass.
Sure, I'll draw for turn.
Thinking.
Sure.
I'm gonna hate myself. I'm just gonna dust shoot. Like, I know half your hand is spells. You probably have another one. This is dead. Like, let's see.
Yeah, you got one. It's Sandgam.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, get it out of here. Cool.
All right, this isn't pretty, but I am gonna knock your set card.
Okay, it was my Sinister Serpent.
Oh, whoa, I'm very happy to see that, in fact. Never mind. All right, let's get in with Thestalos again, I
I'll
suppose.
take 24.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
I'll draw. I will set and pass.
I'll draw. What on earth could you still have? What on earth could you still have?
There's many flip monsters we still have not shown at this point.
I have to run through all of them. Okay, this is a little crusty. I am gonna do this. We're gonna meta. Is that okay?
Yeah, meta's fine.
All right, we're gonna go into Dark Blade, the Dragon Knight.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. I'm like, sure, that's fine.
Give me your dingus.
I hate you.
Imagine if we would have got rid of that Serpent with my sick Serpent Crash Dust Shoot combo. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be in this problem now, would we?
This was in your hand.
It was in my hand.
You are a little pee-pee poo-poo head. Oh, you are a
Good
pee-pee
choice of
poo-poo head.
words.
Oh my god, you are such a pee-pee poo-poo head.
I'm so mad.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think this does kind of complicate things, right?
A little bit, yeah, but I'm not complaining, to be honest.
All right, I'm gonna book here, targeting my own monster,
Lame. Fine.
and we'll get in for 24.
That I'll take.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we'll draw. That is the worst card I could have drawn. Go ahead.
All right, I'm calling it right now. I don't know what happens, but I guarantee you, since, you know, he's pretty much lost, we're going to hear the going out on my own terms joke. Just calling it. I don't know, but I bet you it's going to happen.
I'll draw for turn. Anything in standby.
Nope.
I want my serpent back. Heavy.
I'm not gonna let you take me down. I'm gonna take myself down. Ring of Destruction, the Thestalos, motherfucker.
Am I good or what? I'm a genius. I am a genius, guys. Like that. Come on. Did I call it or did I call it? Like.
Only I decide when I die.
Oh jeez, what a disaster of a game.
Wow.
What's the set card? What sat there for 45 turns?
It was an MST, so I knew you had the GOAT. So I was, as soon as you said.
The definition of this loss is just player diff. Like, honestly, like, Cimo trolled this game so incredibly hard. Like, he could have done so many other things to make this game, like, actually somewhat playable. But he just, like, he just trolled his brains off. Like, I don't know what he was thinking for, like, half of his plays in this episode.
At the GOAT, presumably I was going to MST it. I figured this was probably something that I couldn't interact with anyway, so I'm like, okay, if that's a GOAT, whatever. But I knew you had the 1, so I figured it's good to either save this for a premature burial or just anything, honestly, that wasn't what your set card already was. So I figured the GOAT was best if I had to turn around. I think I just really got screwed when I GOATed myself. And the other thing was I took back the knock with Magician when I already had the other knock in hand, because I was thinking I was just gonna like bait you into thinking that I only had the single copy, so then you'd set again and I could knock you twice. But being locked out with the GOATs, I couldn't summon this breaker, and losing plus breaker and heavy was like really critical, because then breaker wasn't able to apply any pressure, and then I couldn't really do much. The last card in my hand was a Parshath, so like that was just like dead at that point. That Thousand Eyes was just like,
all right, at least he's like calling some of his mistakes. I don't think he really realized how hard he minused himself with that like Book of Moon play on the Tsukiyomi. And again, like not thinking of the crashing the serpent to like trap dust shoot the serpent back. I think that actually makes a very big difference in this game if he would have done that.
Like the end of it. So I thought like I could bait you into your Nobleman with Sinister, then get my Moth to flip, get the GOAT back to maybe survive a few more turns, but it just wasn't happening.
It was a weird one for sure.
There's another flip monster, by the way.
Oh, there he is. I figured you were on Merchant, but I was like, if you resolve Merchant, no big deal. Wow, I saw no Monarchs this game. I think it could have gone a lot quicker if I did, but it was just the Thestalos and the Mobius, and my hand is just rotting with like easy sacks like Sinister Serpent and like soul exchanges just out the wazoo. It kind of sucks that Parshath isn't high enough impact for this deck to consider, because so often I was like, damn, I could really go for a Parshath right now.
Yeah, like Parshath is just insane, especially paired with like Metamorphosis on the Thousand Eyes. Like it's such a big tempo swing.
Parshath is also really good versus standard GOAT control. It's a really strong card in that matchup.
I guess another thing I could have done was when I got that Nobleman back, I was considering the Book of Moon, but this was before I had like the rest of my hand, so I would have had to been just like a telepath to know, because having the Book of Moon to be able to set the Thestalos, then I could have maybe been able to walk over it, because since all you had was a Scapegoat in the back row and nothing. I mean, obviously like Saku's a concern as well, so it's like that's a hard call to make, but had you not duoed, I could have heavied first to clear the way, then like booked and like maybe done some shenanigans. The duo really, I think, was one of like the turning points, and maybe I could have obviously played better, and I probably could have, but duo really
you definitely could have
the tide of that game significantly, just because it hit two really incredibly powerful cards.
No, I figured when we were just looking at the Magician of Faith just attack over and over again play, it was like you didn't have anything worth recycling in Grave but the Nobleman, which like its utility gets massively diminished by like the midpoint of the game. So the punish isn't really Book of Moon. The punish is exactly Parshath, and I'm like, we're both playing to find a trinity that just cracks the game open.
Yeah.
I had Serpent in hand, so I was like, well, my Graceful Charity will be more live than Alex's. Maybe that's enough to outweigh the fourth really powerful card in Parshath that would otherwise dome me. But wow, I mean, just a glacially paced game, just a really slow one. I will credit Delinquent Duo 100% with that win. It was really, really deciding. And I think that really illustrates, I wouldn't say the problem with GOAT format, but one of its defining features, it really does, allow for this really slow control style gameplay that is occasionally interrupted by exactly Delinquent Duo, Pot of Greed, and Graceful Charity.
Right, exactly. And like you saw,
that's a pretty good way to put it, honestly.
Not just both, all three games, you got to see how impactful those cards were in defining which way the games went. I had my Sinister.
All right, game 3, buddy. That wasn't that wasn't no delinquent duo losing you that match. That was you throwing it away, you know.
Open in hand for a few turns as well in case you got the duo, but I think I might have drawn it the turn after you drew the duo. Oh. Yeah, so it was rough.
It was like just think how different this game could have been if your opener, which had 2 Magician of Faiths in it, had also included like a duo or a pot or a graceful, and not a nobleman.
That was effectively your game too, right? I mean, you just recycled it infinitely, but that's the problem. So I was playing the 3 Magician of Faith, which is, I wouldn't say typical in this format. I would say people most often than not play 2, and I decided to play the 3rd one because I'm like, yeah, if I get the Trinity going, like I probably just win the game. I didn't see a single piece of it this time, and Magician of Faith just really wasn't able to do much. Again, I could have probably made better choices in my spell selection, but I mean, had that been just a different sort of card, that maybe could have actually affected the outcome. Who knows? Obviously, there's like way too many variables to say that for sure, but I do appreciate GOAT format because not only is it a very simple way to play the game, but it's the age-old, you know, adage of easy to play, hard to master, right? I always advocate for, if you're going to teach someone how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, that you should either teach them like one of the very first formats we played, which is like 2002, 2003, which is like bare bones Yu-Gi-Oh. Like that is as bare bones as Yu-Gi-Oh gets, but for something with a little more interaction, for a little more.
Obviously, it's no secret that September 2011 is my favorite format from my other videos on my channel, but I actually do think that that is an excellent format to teach players how to play in. It introduces them to like 3 different types of extra deck monsters. You have fusions, you have XYZs, and you have synchros, and they're all pretty valuable in their own ways depending on what deck you play. So I think they're really, really good. But I think it's like a pretty easy format to follow, and it has very similar back and forth gameplay to GOAT. So, and there's like obviously a big like learning, like, you know, skill cap or whatever. You do have to learn a lot, but for the most part, most people I've taught the format to have had no issue learning it in a very short amount of time.
Or skill testing, then GOAT formats here, right? Because each monster has one effect except like BLS, and it's pretty simple to pick up GOAT format, and people can get a general understanding of how the cards function. You get a wide breadth of cards to see how they interact, but then the further you want to take that experience is really up to you, right? That's why there's an entire dedicated player base of people who still play this format to the very day. I just learned that there's apparently a UFC title belt for the world champion of GOAT format. That's pretty bad.
That's sick. Guys, we need to make this happen for 2011. I'm just saying, we got to do it, but that is cool.
Badass. I'll probably put a picture of that on the screen for you guys to see, but I really do enjoy this format. Is it like the best of all time? I'm probably not in the position to say, but it is a lot of fun. It does remind me of older Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it reminds a lot of people of older Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Yeah, no, I love GOAT format. For a long time when people are like, what should I start with? I was like, speed duels. But at the end of the day, speed duels is a format that has 3 deck choices, maybe 4. And GOAT format not only has a bunch of different deck choices, they have deck choices that cater to every sort of play style. So if you don't know anything about GOAT format, you don't understand, you know, what these realistically simplistic cards that are pretty hard to activate optimally do, you can play a deck like Beast Down. You know, you can play a dedicated aggro strategy, and you'll be able to take games off some of the top players just by being good at what it is you do. It is just so unbelievably shocking to me that this format continues to have innovations. There continue to be changes made to the tier list.
That goes for any retro format, honestly. You can like look back at most formats, and like even GOAT format is known for GOAT format, but GOAT control, or like GOAT format is known for GOAT control, but GOAT control is not even close to the best deck. Like I think like the Warrior Toolbox is like probably the best deck of GOAT, but it really depends on the player piloting. Like, and that's because this format is really, really skillful. It is a lot of there's a lot of thought that goes into every turn you do.
In a format that hasn't been played, you know, legally in almost 2 decades. It's unbelievable. A child born when GOAT format ended can, I think, vote now? Maybe in the midterms. It's unbelievable.
It's surreal. It's surreal. And just for reference, the GOAT gods of this game, like the legendary GOAT players, could probably just take the match that they watched both you and I play and probably dissect it down to a science as
I
to
played
exactly
like shit
where...
this match. Please don't do that. Oh, please don't do that.
But I'm saying, though, they could probably make like a 4-hour discussion on every single line of play that we made and whether or not it was optimal or not. And it probably wasn't for the...
All right, I don't don't claim to be a GOAT god because this isn't my like primary format, but I think like in general, I don't think it's as deep as what he's saying. There's no like 4 hour line on like where things went wrong. It's literally just like you can kind of see mistakes get made progressively, and that's how most players lose a game. You can really tell the difference between like players who know what they're doing in retro formats versus players who don't. Like some of my favorite matches I have, like when I go to like a local like old format tournament around like here, is like when you can find those players that you know they like know what they're doing, and it feels really fun to play against them.
The record, so you beat me to it, Joseph. I was going to say don't do that, but the point being is that the players who dedicate themselves to playing this format just have it down to a science. To them, every single move makes or breaks a single game. You know, a lot of us might attribute the holy trinity, unholy trinity to that, but even then, they still feel as though the cards are okay. It's incredible. And again, this is what Yu-Gi-Oh is to a lot of people, right? Most people who might have seen Yu-Gi-Oh growing up when it was like in its like peak of peaks, that you saw these types of cards. These are the nostalgic cards people remember, not just from seeing other people play the game, but even from the anime as well, you know, like Mirror Force and, you know, fun stuff like that.
It's so funny that so many of these cards were never played in the anime. You know, they have no TV counterpart, but like if you ask a random 25-year-old, like, hey, what's Magician of Faith? They'll probably know. Like,
Magician of Faith was in the anime, just saying. But they are right. There are a lot of cards that people know that don't. The typical one is Exodia Blue Eyes Dark Magician. People will always bring those up. Do you have those cards? I used to have them. They're worth $1 million now, and I totally have them somewhere in my closet. You get that response all the time.
You'll be like, what's Heavy Storm? They're like, oh, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? What are Scapegoats? I guess they did show up in the anime pretty frequently.
Yeah.
But every one of these cards is just an icon in its own right. Sinister Serpent, the Monarchs as a tribe, you know, Breaker, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Sakuretsu Armor. Like, kids remember these from playgrounds. People who played competitive.
One cool thing about GOAT format as a whole is, and even like Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole, is like a lot of the cards that like are in this format, if they didn't get banned, a lot of them like continued to be strong cards in later formats. Like it really wasn't until like way later in the game where like there was a ton of power creep that most of these cards kind of fell off. But for the most part, a lot of the cards that you see, if they are playable in a format, they do see play still to some degree. Like some got like, you know, just there's better versions like Sakuretsu. I think like Dimensional Prison is better or something like that. But for the most part, like, you like if you once you get to know one of these retro formats, like if you started with GOAT and work your way up, like it's not hard to like keep like that learning curve going, because you can kind of see where things go and you like recognize a lot of cards. They just continue on throughout the years.
Remember them from Top Cuts, and you know, for better or for worse, Yu-Gi-Oh has moved on, but I don't think any of us are ever going to forget like the impact that these cards had on us.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we did do this third and final episode on GOAT format, because like, let's be honest,
I'm glad we played control decks too.
Right? We actually got to experience like a real match where the other well, let's say they didn't get sacked, but you know, that's
one
relative.
of them I did sack pretty hard.
I was gonna say, but I mean, in relative scale, I would say it was in a different sort of way. But Joseph, we're moving on to Cybernetic Revolution, and Cyber Dragon is right around the corner to ruin Yu-Gi-Oh forever. I'm so excited. I fucking love Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragon did not ruin Yu-Gi-Oh. It's honestly, it was a really powerful card, but it didn't ruin Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a really cool card, to be honest. I think it was like a really well designed card, and it sees play like even almost up to Modern. You could almost make a case for it in Modern. I think there are some scenarios where you do run it, but I don't know Modern that much anymore.
I remember hating it right after GOAT format when I was a kid, because it was so expensive.
Yes.
And the difference between a deck playing 3 Cyber Dragon and a deck playing 0 was a night and day. It was like, I'll tribute summon Parshath, and they'd be like, yeah, cool, I'll eat it with Sidra. It's like, oh, you got it.
It changed the entire dynamic of the game. I remember growing up, so for people who don't know, Cyber Dragon initially came as a super rare, and the super rares were like $30. And if you wanted the ultimates, good luck. Like, maybe they're not as expensive as they are now because people are lunatics and have money. But back in the day, it was just like unheard of if you actually had ultimate cyber dragons. But it was just format warping. I cannot wait to get to it. It's funny because it's maybe the only like impactful card in Cybernetic Revolution. But
there's some other stuff, but mostly it is Cyber Dragon and the ban list. I will say, before we conclude, your gameplay this game means that Nobleman of Crossouting, Dekoichi the Battle-Chanted Locomotive, now has a 0% win rate in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Damn it! I'm so disappointed about that. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks like I'll be in the shirt of shame once again for the Cybernetic Revolution.
You earned that shirt of shame. But yeah, that's going to be it for this first episode of me reacting to the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I do want to try to take a bit of a more educational aspect in terms of like talking about the gameplay. I do spend a lot of time researching these old formats, and I love watching the gameplay, breaking it down, and like seeing how things could be played better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing, giving me a like, subscribe, comment on the video. I really appreciate the support. I'm obviously a new channel. We could use the subscribers. That way, eventually, one day, MBT will do a series with me. You know, that's my only goal. That's my dream, right? But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a great time dueling today.